Welcome, my name is Catherine. This is part 3 of my series showing all the rest of the CDs in my collection, and I have these in my playlist. I'll be sharing 6 compilations and a few other things to help tell the story of these albums. The first I'll share today is the John Lennon collection. This CD came out in 1989, and I was easily able to identify what I had because of these barcodes on Discogs. And the original album came out in 1982 after John's death, and it was a record. And I was 10 years old when John died, and I can remember that day clearly, what we were doing and where we were. My mom had taken my sister and I to a Disney movie, and we came out of that movie in the late afternoon, and as we drove the car home, we heard on the radio what had happened to John. And my mom had actually pulled the car over on the side of the road. And we just sat there for a while, processing what we heard. And because of my age, I could understand everything that was happening. So let's look at that track listing. There are 19 tracks on the John Lennon collection. The first single, Give Peace a Chance, was released in July of '69 and is credited to this Plastic Ono Band. And he was still with the Beatles when that was released. They hadn't announced their breakup yet. I like number 2, Instant Karma. Track number 4, Whatever Gets You Through the Night, was released in '74, and it was inspired by Rock Me Baby, sung by George McRae, written by Harry Wayne Casey of Casey and the Sunshine Band. And Elton John is playing piano and backing vocals. They had met at Capitol Records, and they made a bet. Elton John said it would be a number 1 hit, and Lennon didn't think much of the song. So what ended up happening is John ended up performing at Madison Square Gardens with Elton John in November of 26th of 1974. And that was the last time John ever performed in public. I like the song Imagine, and I really like the songs from Double Fantasy, just like Starting Over, Woman, I'm Losing You, Beautiful Boy, and Watching the Wheels. And those last 2 tracks, 18 and 19, those are the bonus tracks on the CD. I want to share with you this 45 of Philadelphia Freedom by the Elton John Band from '75. When I turn it over, the B-side is a recording of John Lennon singing I Saw Her Standing There from that concert with Elton John at Madison Square Gardens. So this is good for Beatles collectors. Album number 2 is Journey's Greatest Hits. This was released in 1988 and mine's a reissue. And this is Journey's best-selling album. It sold 18 times platinum. There are 16 tracks on Journey's Greatest Hits. I like most of the songs on here. I'll name a few. Don't Stop Believing, Wheel in the Sky, Faithfully, Who's Crying Now, and Open Arms. And when I listen to this album, I like to listen for Neil Sean's guitar solos. Album number 3 is going to be familiar to you because it's the best-selling reggae album of all time. It's a CD copy of Bob Marley's Legend, and mine came out in 2001, and I really like how it's transparent here. I think you can see it. It has red, gold, and green colors on the side here. And this album was originally issued in 1984 on a record, and I looked on Discogs and those sell for $140, so I'm happy to have this CD. And this sold 18 million in the US, 3.3 million in the UK, and 25 million worldwide. And I also have a reissue record. This is the 75th birthday edition. You see the hype sticker here. And I like how on the back it has some photographs next to each song. And the reason I got this album, I probably didn't really need it because the CD actually sounds better. I went to Ziggy Marley's concert. It was the 75th birthday tribute to my father concert, and he played all Bob Marley songs, and it was a really wonderful concert. This is the photograph I took at the Ziggy Marley concert where he did the tribute to his father, and I was sitting in the 8th row. Album number 4 is the very best of Daryl Hall and John Oates. I enjoy their music, and I do have the record Volume 1 Rock and Soul. This just has more songs on it, and this CD came out in 2001, and I just want to show you the artwork on the disc. It has silhouettes of Daryl and John. I think this is pretty nice. And I have seen them in concert in the early 90s once, so I'm glad I saw them because they're not together again. And now I'll show you the track listing. Tracks on Daryl Hall and John Oates. I love this whole album. There's not a single song I don't like. I'll name a few. Sarah Smiles, Wait for Me, Kiss on My List, Private Eyes, Did It in a Minute, I Can't Go for That, Say It Isn't So, and Out of Touch. Album number 5 is called Actual Miles, the Don Henley's Greatest Hits. And this is a promotional copy, and I'll show you the disc. It says promotion in red there. And I really enjoyed Don Henley's solo career. There are 12 tracks on Don Henley's Greatest Hits. I only have one studio album, and that's End of the Innocents. So what this compilation does is it gives me songs from his debut album, I Can't Stand Still from '82. I get Dirty Laundry. And Building the Perfect Beast in '84. I get Boys of Summer, All She Wants to Do Is Dance, Sunset Girl, and Last Worthless Evening. And I like the song Heart of the Matter by Don Henley a lot. I love the meaningful lyrics, so I bought myself a 45 of this. And the B-side is New York Minute. The final CD I'll share today is called The Ultimate Manilow. I enjoy his music and songwriting. I found this at a thrift store, and I'll show you the disc. It's a pretty blue. And I saw him in concert this summer, his farewell tour, and I was given a couple free things. I have this promotional postcard with his picture on it. And this is my favorite, this little glow stick we got to wave around, and I've taken this to other concerts too, so this is going to come in handy. There's 20 tracks on the Barry Manilow compilation. I'll name a few songs I like. He played every single one of these at his concert when I went. I like Mandy, Could It Be Magic? Let's see here. Looks Like We Made It, Daybreak, Copacabana, and I Made It Through the Rain. I really do enjoy listening to this whole album. Those are the CDs I'm showing today. Please share your thoughts on the music. I'd like to say thank you to my new subscribers, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video.